Welcome back to Project Castaway, everybody. Today is the day that we head out to the plane crash island. I believe that's it right there. So first off, what we're going to do is just make sure that we've got everything off this island. We've got the fuel drum here, and I might go ahead and head back to the radio tower island just to drop some stuff off, and then head over to the plane crash island. And we're not going to be building a base today. What we're going to be doing is just searching the island, finding the blueprints, and hopefully all the notes for the story that goes on that island as well. So let's go ahead and just get some of the stuff off this island and head out to the radio tower island. All right, we have made it back to our main island here. I went ahead and grabbed the fuel drum from that island and went ahead and stopped off at the other island that we built a rock base on to get the other fuel drum. That way we've got it. So we will have both fuel drums that we need for the fuel tank. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop off all of this stuff real quick. All right, it's 3 in the morning. We actually searched around and found a bunch of coconuts that we had just left laying around. So let's go ahead and get over to the island now. I'm going to do an episode where we just build on this island, probably next week. And then after that, hopefully by that point, we'll have all of the plane blueprints so we can come back here and start working on building that. So yeah, now it's time for the long journey over here. Also, I just remembered that the GPS trackers are on this island as well. So we'll grab those too. Okay, we have finally made it. Took us all stinking morning to do. Let's go ahead and grab this bottled note. Well, I swear we'll eventually get to those. So first things first, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of do what we normally do, search around the outside of the island, see what we can find, and then head inland. I know that there are creatures on this island that will kill us, like the big cats and the Komodo dragons is what they're called. Yes, those. And we'll build a bed before we decide to move inland. But see, there's a bunch of stuff here. So discarded mattress. I know that there was like a light or a fan back there as well. And I'll probably go ahead and gather those all off camera because it's just kind of boring running around, grabbing stuff, dropping stuff off. But for now, we're looking for notes. We're looking for, I guess, bottled notes. Wait, how many do we have? 80%. So just a couple more. Also, this here. So we found a lot of stuff. We still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that we haven't found. I think this one here, the rocking horse, is on this island. Not really sure though, but all these, I wish they would fix this where they weren't overlapping, but that's okay. I doubt we're going to find all of these because I don't know where some of these are. I've never seen them before, but maybe eventually we'll get them. Okay, so I just went ahead and made a bed real quick. The plane's right there. We'll get around to that. But I made a bed real quick so we could save it because we got some enemies right here. I don't necessarily want to fight them yet. Get out of here, stupid bee. So I'm just going to go ahead and keep searching around. I don't want to do them both at the same time. But back around to the outside of the island to see what we can find. I think we've got one more bottled note to find. I think there's, 90%, 10 total. It goes up by 10% every time that we find one. So there's another Komodo dragon. So there's 3 Komodo dragons on this island. All right, just killed this guy here just in case. But I haven't seen anything around the outskirts of the island other than that one bottled note. So I'm going to come back here to where we set up our bed. Where we set up our bed right around these guys. I'm going to go ahead and take these guys out as well. Seems like 2 headshots and they're done, which is nice. Just getting dark. I'll probably go ahead and make a fire as well. Oh, missed him. There's 1. 2. There we go. We'll leave these guys out here. I don't need any of their stuff. Okay, well, I guess we're not going to start a fire. All right, well, maybe I will build like a little shelter. Which one should we build? Large shelter. Let's build this one. Yeah, it works right there. Okay. Let's go ahead and just get the sticks and stuff that we need for this and get this built so we can actually sleep next to a fire. I'll have to rebuild the bed as well, but that's fine. All right, there we go. It's a little wonky, but that's fine. We got the fire, we got a bed, we can sleep, and then we'll search around the island during the day. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and actually turn this fire off real quick. That way we'll have it in case we need it in a little bit. First, obviously, we're gonna go up here and check out this plane. I know there's stuff in here, just not sure what. Blueprint spider repellent. Plane dashboard. Okay. Let's take a look at the dashboard real quick. Dashboard, 8 microprocessors, 15 circuit boards, 3 thermostats, 2 heat sinks. We've got a lot of that. Not sure exactly what all we've got, but I don't think there's anything else in here at all. There's definitely a note on the outside there. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. That's right, you can't jump out that way. You got to go this way and crouch. I think I remember there being another blueprint on the outside of the plane too, somewhere laying around. So, to keep an eye out for that as well. Red sticky note. Logan Harper's note. Okay. We'll read that in 1 second here. Doesn't look like there's anything here. I think it's up here. To be honest, yes, there it is. Oceanic seasoning. That's just more of the seasoning that we could use for food. Where are you at, you stupid little... Oh, there you are. Jerk. Scorpions. Really very, very loud scorpions are. I'm going to stand up here because I don't know where those jaguars are, and I don't want to get attacked while we're reading. So, let's see here. Notes, notes, notes. Logan Harper's notes. The crash. So this was the plane that he was on, I'm pretty sure. Date, September 1st, 1985. If you're reading this, you must be as desperate as I am. Name's Logan Harper. We were flying, thinking everything was fine until that storm hit. The plane went down fast, faster than you can imagine. The stench of burning fuel and charred metal is something I'll never forget. Wreckage is scattered across several islands. I survived, but barely. When I came to, the stench was overwhelming, and the sounds of children crying cut through the chaos. It's been 2 days since the crash. The plane is still smoking. Too dangerous to go near. I found a few other survivors, a woman and 3 kids. I haven't bothered to learn their names yet. They look at me like I'm supposed to save them, and I resent it. Their fear is palpable. The kids' constant crying pierces the air, and the sight of their terrified faces, smeared with dirt and tears, makes my stomach churn. Right after the crash, I stumbled upon the wreckage and bodies. The sight and smell made me puke, the acrid taste of bile lingering as I tried to gather my senses. My short-term memory was shot. I can't remember where we took off from or where we were heading. It's all a blur. I have a nasty concussion, and my head feels like it's splitting open. Only the long-term details stick. My wife, my family back home. Their faces are etched in my mind. A cruel reminder of what I've lost. I miss them terribly. The loneliness is suffocating. Okay. So, the crash on the island. There weren't many survivors, but there were a few. Him and the kids. So let's go ahead and take a look around down here. I believe there's some other stuff around here. Yeah, there's another cooling unit. So what is this one? Crab spear. Oh, so we can make a crab spear. Interesting. Crab body. 4 crab bodies, 1 crab arm, rope, and small stick. Maybe we'll make that too. So we can't make the jaguar spear yet anyway. At least we'll look. I mean, we could definitely get the crabs. They're fairly simple to catch. They're little jerks. They like to walk through all of my stuff that's back on their radio tower island, all the stuff that we've got organized for the parts, for the plane blueprints, and they just move stuff around. It's really annoying. So I have to keep reorganizing it, but it's fine. So there are a lot of notes from Logan Harper. There's another one here. Can grab, thank you. I believe this is where we saw the jaguar before, right in this area, but I don't want to mess around and find out. We'll read that note here in a second. But first I want to come up here because I believe, yeah, this should be bringing us up here. Yes, here we go. All right. Sticky note. So there's another tower note. Okay, so GPS tags, microprocessor, a couple more GPS tags. Now, are those going to show up? Okay, so we've gotten all of them. I remember last time we did this, we accidentally didn't grab all of them, and it confused me. Jaguar knife. Ember seasoning, and hornet repellent. What a bunch of turds. You jerk. Give me blueprints for the plane, you dingus. We still haven't found the plane chassis, which is concerning. Concerning, but hopefully we'll find it. Anyway, let's take a look at these real quick, I guess. Jaguar knife. Need a leopard's tooth. So they're called jaguar teeth. It's like a knife made of silver and jaguar teeth, but they're leopard's tooth, so I don't really understand it. That's why I always get confused. So they're either jaguars or leopards or something, I don't know. Part 2, The Struggle, September 7th, 1985. So this was just a few days after. Oh, well, it's going to tell me right here. It's been 6 days since the crash. My head still throbs from the concussion, and the short-term memory loss is maddening. I have to rely on the woman. I've overheard her name as Claire, and the kids more than I'd like. They seem to think I'm their leader, but I can barely keep myself together. The stench of the wreckage hasn't faded. Every time I catch a whiff, it brings me back to those first moments, to the bodies and the blood. I'm trying to piece together what happened, but everything's still a blur. The kids cry less now, but their eyes are filled with the silent plea I'm not equipped to answer. Claire is doing her best to keep the kids calm. She comforts them, whispers reassurances. It's admirable, but it feels pointless. We're strangers thrown together by fate, with no idea how to survive this place. I miss my family, but thinking about them feels like a luxury I can't afford right now. I've noticed Claire watching me. She wants to talk, to make plans, but I avoid it. I can't afford to get attached. I notice cuts and bruises on the children and can't help but wonder if they will really make it here. If not, I'd rather avoid further heartache. I've managed to build a fire for us and some palm beddings on the floor. It's not much, but it's something. We found some food amongst the wreckage so far and have been sustaining ourselves, though I worry about the rations. Claire keeps saying they'll find us in no time, but I have my doubts. Still, her optimism is a small comfort in this madness. Okay, so that's setting us up for their whole story, the whole story on this island here that revolves around Logan and Claire and those kids. So, right. Oh, we still have that. There was another radio tower note here. To Danny. Danny, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I found something unbelievable, but it's too risky to explain here. I had the deciphering book, but I can't remember where. The island's secrets are beyond anything we imagined, and Mordenpold disturbed something ancient. Be careful, my friend. The truth is out there, but it's not without danger. Okay, you jerk. Okay. Let's see how it is. You hit it, but you don't remember where, and now you're dead. That's great. That's fantastic. Gosh, this island's so stinking big. Here's a couple more blueprints here. Elite crab trap and shark repellent. There's the shark repellent. That's great. I don't need that though. I mean, we do kind of. There's the elite crab trap. Just 2 logs, stone shard, and 2 rope. But the shark repellent is coca and pepper, which super easy to find. I really just want the freaking plain stuff though. I don't care about all this other stuff right now. Came over here for Logan Harper, and there's a note down there I'm gonna go grab in a second. I want the plain stuff. We need to be able to escape. No big kitties. We're down next to the plane again, so surprised this one didn't pop up whenever we were looking around down here earlier. Anyway, let's jump up onto the plane. Wait, can we get into this side of the plane? We cannot. Okay, that's fine. Part 3, reality sets in. September 15th, 1985. So that was about a week after. It's been over a week since the crash, and reality is starting to set in. The initial hope that we'd be rescued quickly is fading. The food we scavenged from the wreckage is running low. I've started rationing what little we have left, but it's not going to last much longer. Claire, a 26-year-old medical student, has been doing her best to keep everyone patched up with the first aid supplies we found. She was on her way back home to Chicago. The kids, Tommy, age 9, Jake, age 7, and Emma, age 5, were on a trip to visit their grandma. Their parents didn't survive the crash. Today I spent most of my time searching the wreckage again, hoping to find something we missed. I managed to salvage a few more cans of food and a couple of bottles of water. It's not enough, but it's something. I also found another first aid kit, which we desperately needed. My head is still pounding, but at least we have some basic supplies now. Claire and I finally had a serious conversation about our situation. She wants to organize a search party to look for more survivors and supplies. I'm reluctant to leave the crash site, but she's right. We can't stay here forever. The plane is too dangerous to go near, with smoking and occasional small fires flaring up. Staying close to it isn't an option, but venturing into the unknown is just as terrifying. The kids have started crying again, their initial shock giving way to fear and hunger. Every little sound sets them off at night, making it hard for any of us to sleep. They no longer believe Claire when she tells them we'll be rescued soon. It's heartbreaking to see the hope drain from their eyes. I've begun to think about how we'll need to adapt to survive here long term. The idea of building a more permanent shelter and finding sustainable food sources is becoming more urgent. I've decided to keep a journal to record my memories in case I start to forget more. Good thing I've packed one. Every night the sounds of the island grow louder. The wind through the trees, the rustling of the leaves, and the distant calls of unknown animals. It's unnerving. I lie awake staring at the stars, wondering if anyone is looking for us. I try to remember more about my flight, but it's all fragments. My wife's face is the only clear memory, and it feels like a lifetime ago. I don't know how much longer we can hold out like this. We need a plan, and we need it soon. Tomorrow we'll start exploring beyond the wreckage. I hope we find something, anything, that can help us survive a little longer. Well, they'll realize real quick that this island isn't that big. And it's not that scary, to be completely honest. And honestly, you can just survive off coconuts. Yeah, you can just chop down trees, you know, use some seagull beaks to make some axes. You'll be golden, bro. I've been surviving out here for so long. You'll be fine. Oh, jeez. Jerk. Freaking snuck up on me, dude. Ow. We gotta go. What happened to my... Oh, I think my bow broke. That ain't good. What do we need for a new bow? Sit next to the water just in case I'm safe out here. We did find another note too, but I'm not worried about that right now. Ooh, crossbow. You know what? Can I use that instead? There we go. Yeah. Ho ho ho. It's about to go down, boy. Come here, you stupid kitty. Kitty murder party now. Come back here, you jerk. Oh, there's another note here too. Let's go ahead and grab that while we're down here. Boink. All right, well, I can't find the cat again. It disappeared into the ether. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep searching around for stuff. I was really hoping to find all the blueprints, but I don't know if they're even around here, to be honest. Oh. All right, well, he found me. He found me. He found me. Come on. Oh, I'm gonna die. In the face, boy. Get absolutely smashed, you stupid cat. Okay, we need to go and heal up. Heal up. Heal up. I'm gonna carry a couple more of these, so whenever we find more cloth, we can go ahead and make some more. I'm gonna go ahead and save it though, since we made this crossbow. And then we'll keep searching around the island for more stuff. I did find, I think, 2 or 3 more notes that we have to read here in a bit. Okay, so I had to take a couple days off of recording because I've been sick and my voice started to go out. But I'm back, and I believe where we were at, I kind of skimmed over the previous recording, was we've read 3 of these, and we've got 6 total. These ones are a little bit longer, 6 pages, 7 pages, 7 pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to search around the island and see if I can find the rest of the notes and blueprints and things, and I'll be reading it while I'm searching. So let's go. Part 4, The Choice. September 30th, 1985. Today we found an emergency raft washed up on the shore, along with the body of another survivor. The raft is a lifeline, a chance to escape this island and search for more resources or even rescue. But it's also a risk. Claire and I stood over the body, the reality of our situation sinking in even deeper. We can use this to get to the nearby island, I said, my voice grim. We're running out of resources here. We need to move. Claire shook her head, worry etched on her face. Logan, it's too dangerous. We've seen sharks in these waters. What if something happens? What if the raft doesn't hold? I felt frustration boiling over. We don't have a choice, Claire. We can't stay here and slowly starve. I'm going. You can stay here with the kids if you want, but I'm taking that raft. The argument escalated quickly. Claire, usually so calm, yelled back, her voice cracking. You can't just abandon us. What if something happens to you? What then? We need you here, Logan. The kids need you. I was caught off guard by the intensity of her emotions. My own frustration fueled my response. And what if staying here kills us all? We can't keep pretending everything will be okay if we just sit tight. We need to take risks. She broke down, tears streaming down her face. I can't do this alone, Logan. You're so distant, always keeping to yourself. You never spend time with us, never play with the kids. It's dragging me down. I'm trying so hard, but I can't do it without you. Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I hadn't realized how much my detachment was affecting her. Affecting all of them. I felt my own emotions rising. A mix of guilt and something else. Something I hadn't allowed myself to acknowledge. I'm sorry, I said, my voice softer. I'm so sorry. Claire, I didn't realize. I stayed with her that night. We sat by the fire, and for the first time she shared her hopes and dreams. She talked about her life before the crash, her plans to become a doctor, her love for her family. She told me how she could see that I was distant, how I never spent more time with them than I had to, and how it was dragging her down, trying to be the only one to emotionally support the entire team. As she spoke, I realized how much I had come to care for her. My heart broke at the thought of losing her, of failing her and the kids. I reached out, pulling her into an embrace. We held each other, seeking warmth and comfort in the cold night. For the first time, I let myself feel something other than survival instincts. I let myself care. That night, as we cuddled together, for warmth, I felt a shift. Claire's words had opened my eyes. I knew we couldn't stay here forever, but rushing into danger wasn't the answer either. We needed a plan, a way to ensure our safety while searching for a better place. Tomorrow, we'll reassess. We'll find a way to make this work. Together. Because in this nightmare, they are the only thing keeping me grounded, and I can't lose them, and that scared me the most. Part 5. Growing Attachments. October 1st, 1985. Last night changed everything. Claire and I spent the night talking, really talking, for the first time since the crash. We shared fears, hopes, and dreams. Holding her close, I realized how much I care for her and the kids. They're my anchor in this chaotic sea of survival. But along with that realization came a flood of guilt. This morning, as we prepared for the day, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was betraying my wife. Claire and I shared a kiss last night, a moment of weakness that felt so right, yet so wrong. My heart ached with the weight of my emotions, torn between that connection I was forming with Claire and my loyalty to my wife back home. I decided to talk to Claire about it. As we sipped on the last of our salvage coffee, I took a deep breath. Claire, I need to explain something. Last night it meant a lot to me, but it also made me realize why I've been so distant. She looked at me, concern and understanding in her eyes. What is it, Logan? I lost my son when he was 5, I began, my voice heavy with emotion. It destroyed me. It nearly destroyed my marriage. My wife and I, we almost didn't recover from it. But we did eventually. We became closer than ever, but the fear of losing another child, of feeling that pain again, it's been too much. That's why I've been keeping my distance from you and the kids. Claire's eyes filled with tears as she listened. Logan, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I know, I said, feeling the sting of my own words. That's why I think it's wrong for us to get close. I care about you, Claire, more than I should. But I have a family back home, a wife who's waiting for me. I can't betray her. Her heart broke in front of me. I could see the pain in her eyes, the tears she fought to hold back. I understand, she whispered, her voice cracking, but it doesn't make it any easier. We spent the rest of the day preparing for our journey to the nearby island. I fortified the raft, making sure it was as seaworthy as possible. Claire took stock of our remaining supplies and tended to the kids. Emma, Jake, and Tommy seemed more at ease seeing us working together, but there was a palpable tension in the air. As the sun began to set, we gathered around the fire. Claire and I explained our plan to the kids. We're going to explore a nearby island, I told them. It might be dangerous, but we'll be careful. We need to find more food and water, and maybe we'll find a better place to stay. The kids listened quietly. Emma, the oldest, looked at me with a seriousness beyond her years. Will we come back? She asked. Yes, Claire answered. We're just going to explore. We'll be back before you know it. That night, as we lay in our makeshift shelter, Claire reached out and took my hand. Thank you, she whispered, for staying, for understanding. I squeezed her hand gently, my heart heavy with the weight of my decision. We're in this together. We'll find a way to make it. As I drifted off to sleep, I thought about the journey ahead, the unknown waters, the potential dangers. But for the first time since the crash, I felt a glimmer of hope. We had a plan, and we had each other. Tomorrow we'll set out. We'll scout the nearby island and come back with what we need. It's a risk, but it's a calculated one. And with Claire by my side, I know we can face whatever comes our way. But deep down, I knew that I had to prioritize getting back to my family. My wife needed me, and I had to find a way to return to her, no matter the cost. It was a harsh reality, but one I couldn't ignore. Part 6. Emma's Smile. October 15th, 1985. Time has changed us all. We've adapted, moving from island to island, scavenging supplies, and learning the lay of this strange land. We've managed to build up a decent stockpile of food and water. For now, at least, we're surviving. Emma, now 5, has a way of reminding me of my own son. Her curiosity, her innocent questions, and the way her eyes light up when she discovers something new. It's like a mirror to the past. Tommy, at 9, and Jake, at 7, have taken on more responsibilities. They're growing up faster than any child should have to. The islands are strange, though. Supplies and tools vanish without explanation. The kids have started having nightmares, waking up in the middle of the night screaming about shadows and voices. I've heard them too. Claire tries to reassure everyone, but I can see the fear in her eyes. We've noticed several wrecks scattered around, but they're often too dangerous to explore. The last time I've tried diving to one, a shark nearly took my leg. It's a constant reminder of how precautious our situation is. We can't leave the kids alone for too long, and the risks are high. Emma, in her innocent way, often says things that bring a smile to our faces. Just yesterday, she found a seashell and handed it to me with wide eyes. "Logan, will this shell bring us good luck?" Her hopeful expression melted my heart. "Maybe it will, Emma," I replied, ruffling her hair. "Maybe it will." Despite everything, her presence is a balm. She reminds me of my own son, and it's both a comfort and a source of guilt. The memory of my son's death and the near destruction of my marriage haunt me. It took years for my wife and me to rebuild our relationship, and now here I am, torn between the family I lost and the makeshift one I'm trying to protect. But tonight something happened that brought all those emotions crashing back. We were sitting around the fire and Emma slipped up. She called me Dad. The word hit me like a punch to the gut, and all the buried pain and guilt surged to the surface. "I'm not your dad," I snapped, my voice harsher than I intended. "Don't call me that. I'm not your father." Emma's face crumpled in hurt and confusion. Before I could react, Claire was on her feet, anger blazing in her eyes. "Logan, how could you? She's just a child. She looks up to you." Emma ran off into the darkness, her small figure disappearing into the night. Panic surged through me, cutting through the haze of anger and guilt. I stood up, my heart pounding. "Emma, come back." Claire and I grabbed torches and set off after her, the fear of losing her in the dark gnawing at me. The jungle around us was thick and menacing, every shadow a potential threat. Claire's angry rebukes echoed in my mind as we searched, her words a constant reminder of my failure. "Emma, where are you?" Claire's voice was strained with worry. As we moved deeper into the jungle, the sounds grew eerier. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig set my nerves on edge. Then we heard it, a low menacing growl. My blood ran cold. We found Emma huddled under a tree, but before we could reach her, a pair of Komodo dragons emerged from the shadows, their eyes glinting in the torchlight. I grabbed the nearest weapon, a makeshift spear, and charged at the beasts. Rage and fear fueled my every step. "Emma, run," I shouted, but she was frozen in terror. Okay, so we found the rest of the notes for Logan Harper. We also found all of the things that we need to find, and we'll get to that in a second. But there's a couple more that we need to read real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and read these, and then we'll finish up the story for this island, and that's where we'll call the episode. Part 7, Despair. November 1st, 1985. The following is a blur. I'm trying to recount the details of this painful memory as best as I can. Claire and I were searching frantically for Emma in the dark. The jungle around us thick and menacing. The sounds grew eerier with each step. Then we heard it, a low menacing growl. My blood ran cold. We found Emma huddled under a tree, but before we could reach her, a pair of Komodo dragons emerged from the shadows, their eyes glinting in the torchlight. I grabbed the nearest weapon, a makeshift spear, and charged at the beasts. Rage and fear fueled my every step. I drove the spear into the first dragon, but it barely slowed down. The second one lunged at Emma with a primal roar. I tackled it, using every ounce of strength to wrestle it away from her. The beast bit into my arm, pain searing through me, but I didn't care. I couldn't let it take her. I drove the spear into its side repeatedly until it finally collapsed. But it was too late. Emma lay motionless, her small body battered and bleeding. Claire rushed to her side, her sobs tearing through the silence. I fell to my knees, my vision blurred with tears and pain. "Emma, please," Claire whispered, cradling her. "Stay with us, please." But there was no response. Emma was gone. Part 8, The Aftermath, November 3rd, 1985. The weeks and months after Emma's death have passed in a haze of grief and shock. Claire treated my wounds and we buried her near the camp. A simple grave marked with stones. Claire has been inconsolable, her grief palpable. Tommy and Jake have been silent, their eyes wide with shock and fear. I sat by Emma's grave for hours. My heart ran heavy with sorrow and guilt. The island had taken another innocent life, and the weight of it threatened to crush me. I had failed her. I had failed them all. We had plans to throw a birthday party for Emma in a few days. She would have turned 6. Now she'll never see it. The thought of it is too much to bear. Tommy blames me for her death. He hasn't said it outright, but I can see it in his eyes. The way he looks at me with a mixture of anger and hurt. Jake, too young to fully understand, just clings to Claire and asks why Emma isn't coming back. Claire didn't speak to me for weeks. The bond we had started to form now seems irreparably broken. I knew I had to be strong for Tommy and Jake, but the pain was overwhelming. Every night I lie awake, staring at the stars, determined to protect the remaining children no matter what. Claire is emotionally broken. She treated Emma as her own, and the loss has shattered her. She sought comfort from me, something physical to make her feel human and alive, something other than a failure. But I was reluctant, too wrapped up in my own grief and guilt to give her what she needed. The distance between us has only grown. Today we held the birthday party for everyone. It was an attempt to bring some semblance of normalcy back into our lives. Claire and the boys needed it. A moment to remember Emma and try to find some joy amidst the sorrow. But I couldn't bring myself to join. I knew they needed it, but I couldn't face them. Instead, I left to deal with my emotions privately. I needed a little bit of space, so I decided to go out on the raft and drift a little bit, just to get some peace and isolation to think through the scattered thoughts. As I floated on the water, the silence was deafening. The weight of my guilt and sorrow pressed down on me, threatening to pull me under. I don't know how we'll move forward from this. Emma's loss is a wound that may never heal. But I have to try. For Claire, for Tommy and Jake, for the memory of the children we've lost. They are my family now, the only people who need me. I realize that now. We may never escape from here. No one else matters. We have to survive. The Final Wish, December 1st, 1985. I fell asleep on the raft, seeking peace and isolation to sort through my scattered thoughts. When I woke up, no islands were nearby. I floated on the sea for what felt like days, surviving on what little supplies I had. One day, islands appeared again. I went ashore, disoriented and frantic, searching for Claire and the kids. Months have passed in this relentless search. I wish I had a compass or GPS, anything to guide me. I curse myself daily, imagining how scared the kids must be, and how cold I feel without Claire's embrace. I regret not fully loving her the way her soul deserved. Her kindness haunts me, especially the memory of her wanting to make graves for all the victims when we first crashed. I convinced her it was a waste of time and energy, urging her to focus on survival. Now I see the folly in my words. Madness has crept into my mind. I've been attacked by insects and caught a disease that's left me coughing up blood. My strength wanes, but my will to find them keeps me moving. I stumbled upon Emma's grave today. I collapsed there, crying and wishing I could die to be buried with her. The pain is unbearable. I must keep searching. Continuing my search, I found Tommy's hat on a larger skeleton. Confused and heartbroken, I took the hat and pressed on. How much time has really passed? The thought gnaws at me. The skeleton was too large for a child. The reality of time slipping away terrifies me. Soon after, I discovered the remains of Jake, clutching a photograph of his mother. I collected it, feeling the weight of my failure crushing me. Again, I was struck by the size of the skeleton. Was it possible that so much time had passed? That they had grown and aged while I was lost at sea? Finally, I found Claire's skeleton, her clothing unmistakable. I took her necklace, a token to bury with the others. Realizing my end is near, I write this final note. To whoever finds this, please honor my dying wish. Build a grave site for Claire, Tommy, Jake, and Emma, and bury these items with them. Let them rest in peace together. I don't deserve to be buried alongside them. My shame is too great. Please also commemorate the other passengers who perished in the crash. Their lives deserve recognition and remembrance. In a life full of regrets, this is my last plea. Please give them the peace I couldn't provide in life. Logan Harper. Okay, so the items that we needed to find, I need to find Emma's gravesite and bury the items next to it if I ever find them. A hat, necklace, and photograph, which we found. So we found Claire's necklace, Tommy's hat, and Jake's photograph. I need to build graves so I can bury each of the items to lay them to rest. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And this will be, if it's still in the same spot, it's going to be right up here actually next to the plane. So, right next to where we plan on building. And we are definitely going to need stones, I believe. So it should be right around in this area here. And I picked the absolute worst time to do a bunch of reading right after I was sick. Okay. So all three of the gravestones there, so we need to place these items in here. So put the hat here. Put the necklace here. And the photograph here. All right. Rest in peace. It's been a tough day today. I think it's time to get some rest and come back tomorrow to pay my respects. So what we'll do is we'll definitely come back in the morning, but for now it's still not even noon yet. We read all night long, but it's not noon yet. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and clear out the rest of this area real quick. And once we're tired enough and it's late enough, we'll go ahead and sleep and come back up here because I believe this kind of continues on a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just clear this out, get stuff prepped for next episode where we will be building a base up here on this ledge. Okay, I'd say that that's probably sufficiently cleared out because we're going to be building, my plan is anyways, to build right on the edge here and try to have it up and extend out over this area. That's where our camp is right there. So that's the idea, but we've got a ton of stuff over here. Got a bunch of logs, ton of sticks, large sticks, and then some of the palm fronds. Some of the palm fronds and stuff fell over the side, so we'll end up collecting those at some point. But I think now it's time to sleep and then come back up here to these graves to see the rest of this story. All right, bright and early. So there should be something else going on up here now, right? Okay. Oh, there is. Yeah, it's just difficult to see. They really need to clear this out. Like, the developers need to make sure that this stuff is cleared out whenever you finish the story. So unknown plant. Let's chop it. Yeah, let's pick these up. And then there's another one back here. Okay, supernatural flower. Beautiful looking flowers. I noticed some flowers appeared on Emma's grave. I didn't plant anything. Wonder if this is a sign from her for me to gather and plant the flowers on the remaining graves. Okay. Also, we did this last season too, and nothing happened afterwards, but let's go ahead and just place these on each grave. Maybe they fixed it. And there, and there. Okay. So now they're each planted. There's one planted on each grave, even though you can't really see it very well, but they are there. All right, anything else in here? I planted the flowers I gathered from Emma's grave on the other graves. Hope this helped lay them to rest. Hope this helps me deal with the grief. Rest in peace. Cool. I think that didn't actually populate last time, so it did come to completion then. So I know this episode was a little bit different than normal. There's a lot of story. I just wanted to get this story done so we could focus on building, and then we're still missing the plain chassis, which I don't know where that's at. So yeah, everything needs to be attached to the plain chassis. We haven't found the plain chassis. So next episode, we're going to build a base here, and then probably off camera, I will gather everything on this island, take it back over to our main island, and then we need to figure out where the plain chassis is. So thank you so much for watching. I know that this episode is a little bit different than normal. It was a lot of reading, and I picked the worst time to do it because I've been sick and my voice is going out again. I've had to record this over the course of a couple days because I haven't felt the best. So, but anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all the support on these videos, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.